If you are thinking about coming to Gatlinburg and you have not been, these are things that we feel like you should know. Okay, so the top number one thing that they need to know is...
Oh, traffic comes to a standstill and you just need to be patient and just enjoy the scenery.
Enjoy the sights, look around at places that you may want to go and places that you might want to eat. Be checking those things out as you're driving slowly through the town. So Margaritaville Resort on the right. So they do have lodging in town. And then there's another restaurant. So like you could get your reservations. We're just recommending to get reservations. You're not going to just walk up to a restaurant and walk in and eat. So there are lots of motels and hotels along this strip and places that you can go in and get cabins. That's the number two thing that they need to know is if you get cabins, you go into the town, you either Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg or maybe even Seaverville. You go into the town and you get your key and then you drive to the place. So you'll see lots of places through Gatlinburg that say cabins. That doesn't mean that that is the place that you're going to be staying in Gatlinburg. That's the place that you get your keys and sign your, contract and pay and things like that. And you usually have to go there first, then go back to your cabin. So we stayed in Pigeon Forge the last time and drove into Gatlinburg. This time we stayed in Gatlinburg and drove into Pigeon Forge. Which would you recommend? I haven't asked him.
I liked getting out and walking up through the first day and just walking through Gatlinburg and not having to move our car. I mean, we walked it, you can actually walk faster than we're moving.
Yes, you can walk faster than you can drive. Plus, if you come into the town, you have to pay for parking. The three thing that you need to know is that restaurants are a very long wait. You can get reservations at most places, but even if you got reservations, you need to plan out where you're going to eat, but you don't want to plan it out before you get here because some restaurants are closed. So as you're driving through, like we're driving through right now, and we're seeing different places to eat along the way, and we can make our decision, and then right then, after we all agree on where you're going to eat, we can just call and reserve it for the time that we think that we're going to stop and eat. Now, this is in the fall. We are in the fall right now. So they decorated for fall, and Pigeon Forge, I believe, has already started their Christmas lights.
Yeah, they had Christmas lights.
And that was really cool if you go over there at night to see the Christmas lights and things. It's just all lit up. Okay, so we wanted to let you guys know Gatlinburg is the town that we went to visit this time. The last time we went, we stayed in Pigeon Forge and drove into Gatlinburg. This time we stayed in Gatlinburg and drove over to Pigeon Forge. So there's three actual cities that are really close proximity, and those three are Seaver and Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. Which one did you like the best between Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg?
I like Gatlinburg because I don't mind walking, and everything is within walking distance. I mean, if you get a hotel, obviously if you get a cabin, you're up in the mountains, you're gonna have to drive down. But if you drive in from Pigeon Forge or any place like that, you're having to pay for parking, anywhere from $10 to $20 a day. And I just prefer to stay there. They got some very nice hotels, and if you want to go get something to eat, you can drive down to the other two. And we did that for the dinner on our second night there, and had some wonderful food there. So
we stayed at the Appy Lodge, which was that just like east of Gatlinburg?
Yes.
Okay, so it was at the east end of Gatlinburg. And we literally walked from our lodge, which we really liked the lodge. Yes. We both liked the lodge. We're pretty much picky about where we stay. I especially am a little bit of a hotel snob. I liked the cabin that we stayed at in Pigeon Forge, but it was for the two of us. It was just like it was too much. It was 2 bedrooms, and upstairs there were 2 bathrooms, a kitchen, a living room, a dining room, a master bedroom. Would have been great if we had a whole family. So if you have a whole family, I do recommend the cabins. And they have cabins right outside of Gatlinburg, right outside of Pigeon Forge, right outside of Seaver, either all of those. So, and then you can drive into Gatlinburg. But we, the two of us, just being together, we really liked the Appy Lodge. They had a pool, a hot tub, they had fire pits, they had an outdoor pool, and they had nice room, beautiful shower, tile shower. It was very, very much worth it, and clean, no weird smells. I mean, you know, I'm just really picky about those kind of things. They had a continental breakfast. Now, because of COVID, they weren't doing it this year of 2020, but normally they would. And so Appy Lodge was awesome. We stayed at the end there on the east end, and we walked in all the way almost to the end of Gatlinburg. We made it about 3/4 of the way, and we stopped and ate, and then we just walked back. It was getting dark, and we didn't want to walk in the dark. But had it been earlier in the day, we would have walked on up, which that end of the Gatlinburg, there were a lot more newer restaurants, and also the convention center, and a few like tourist sites. They have a lot of fun things. There's just so many things to do for families. They have arcades and haunted houses. They had, I don't know if those are all year, but they had one.
Ripley's, believe it or not.
They just have things to do. And then that Alpine place, the Alpine, or was that what it was called, like an Alpine place?
Yeah.
And you could ride the ski lift and go up, and they had all kinds of things to do up there at the top, and the views incredible. The Skyview Bridge.
Yep.
That's the bridge that you walk across, and part of the bridge is plexiglass, real thick plexiglass. It was some kind of material that's see-through, and you can see down below, underneath, walking across the tops of the trees, and you're already up high. I recommend that experience. And so it's just a great time. And then in Pigeon Forge, they have the island. They have an outlet of all kinds of shops. They have all kinds of restaurants. They have the Ferris wheel. They have shows. Paula Dean's Act Show. They have, what was one of the other shows? Oh, they have comedy shows.
Pirates.
They have a Bible history show. They have a pirate show.
I think they have a Ripley's there,
they
too.
have Dolly's, the Dolly Parton. No, what was that thing called? The Stampede.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton Stampede. Then in Seaver, they have Dollywood, and they have a Dollywood Resort. You've got to check out the Dollywood Resort online. Just Google that. Oh my goodness. That thing is just fantastic. It's expensive. I think it's like, was it $300 a night?
Yeah.
But your food, I'm not sure if it was included or not, but they have restaurants.
You put a lot of people in those too, right?
And yes, they had family quarters. Like I saw when I was looking online, they have bunk beds and queen beds, and I think kitchen, capabilities where you can do some cooking and maybe buy some groceries and eat in the hotel or something like that. And so these 3 places, I mean, you are not going to get them done in 2 days, 3 days. We've gone twice, and we have not completed all the things we wanted and could do. Just didn't have time, but we know we'll go back. And so if you've never been, you've got to go check it out. And also, do not go without driving up into the mountains. Drive up to Klingman's Dome. Drive to Cade's Cove to see the bears, which, mind you, you will be driving. Get your gas
Make sure you
tank.
gas up.
Gas up your tank, and you're going to be driving for like 3 hours through this beautiful scenic drive, and then you see bears will come out and just be out on the side of the road.
Of course, you can see them in Gatlinburg too.
And in Gatlinburg occasionally. I wouldn't say it's like a guarantee, but there were bears that were crossing the road and that we actually got a glimpse of, but the people ahead of us had stopped and got out and were taking pictures, so we didn't realize what was going on. We thought it was an accident. It was bears, just wandering around in Gatlinburg. Don't leave food out in your vehicle in Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, or Seaver when you stay. They also have bed and breakfast there in Seaver, and there's this one that is a really good bed and breakfast, and we drove by it. That's not our thing. Bed and breakfasts aren't really, we like hotels. I think we like hotels. We've decided. We stayed in a cabin, we've stayed in a bed and breakfast, we've stayed in a hotel, and we like hotels the best, but it's what you like. It's not what, I'm just saying, pick what you like.
They have a selection.
Definitely go. This is a place that we recommend. Gatlinburg, Tennessee. So this is a Alum Cave trailhead, and there are so many cars out here parked. It's just a beautiful time of the year to be here and to come out and enjoy the splendor and majesty of God's creation. You can see we are not the only ones who feel this way. I mean, mile after mile of cars parked on the side of the road. Oh. And people walking in the road. There's that stream over there. I can't get it. They're just cars, 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 cars. People are here to enjoy the beauty and I don't blame them, because I'm here too, right?
Yep.
So what is this place called?
Klingman.
We are at Klingman's Dome in the clouds at the moment. So this is pretty much the highest point of the Appalachians, and we're in North Carolina, aren't we now?
Yes.
We're in North Carolina. So we walked to North Carolina today. And if you ever come and take this hike, bring your oxygen tank, because I had to rest several times. Roger did not have to rest, because you get on the treadmill every day at an incline and I do not. So I couldn't breathe. And this is, it's only like, what, half a mile trail, and it's paved, but it's very deceptive because the trail goes straight up. So now we're on this ramp walking up above the trees and in the clouds.
And on a clear day, they say you can see 100 miles.
On a clear day, which we were gonna wait. Hopefully it'll burn off maybe if we wait. But I seriously am having struggles breathing.
Hey dear, your oxygen tank's right there.
Where? Where? Oh. I wish. I seriously would bring an oxygen tank if I did this again. Just so I could be more comfortable. I mean, yeah, half a mile. We walked 3.5 miles yesterday without even taking a breath hardly. Oh my goodness. Well, at least they have a picture of what we coulda, woulda, shoulda seen. Yeah. So if it was a clear day,
Yeah, it's funny.
I'm getting a notification. That was actually from CVS saying fall colors are amazing, so their photo prints are on sale right now. This is the Great Smoky. Great Smoky Mountain National Park. The forest that surrounds this tower is a spruce fir forest comprised mostly of red spruce and Fraser fir. It's a forest under stress. The dead trees that you can see. There's one. Are Fraser fir victims of a European insect. Another threat with far broader effects comes from the air. This park receives the highest sulfur and nitrogen deposits from acid precipitation found in any national park. It's most severe at higher elevations. The average acidity of rain and snow here is 5 to 10 times greater than natural precipitation. This acid fallout damages park soils, streams, plants, and animals. So acid precipitation arrives not only as rain and snow, also. Why do they honk in tunnels? Is it just for fun? In Tennessee, when they go through the tunnels, they honk. Maybe we're supposed to be honking. Maybe
Nothing said we were. So.
We're doing it wrong.
You don't know how to go through
I need to know why. It's obnoxious.
So is the dog.
The dog wants to know too. He's like, why? Listen to that. There may be a reason, but I don't know what it would be other than just because they want to. Hi. He's like he's putting his 2 cents in. He's like, I don't really understand it either. Do you understand why? Me either, puppy. It's not me. He's looking at me like, why are you doing that? I didn't do it. Honking in Tennessee tunnels. Why? here is how the traffic is. This is about how quick you'll be going. We're going into town. You can see the ones coming out of town, and it's early in the morning. They're probably going toward Pigeon Forge. We are going toward Gatlinburg and to the town of Gatlinburg. And so here's the Rocky Waters Motor Inn. That place, it really is just like a basic motel, but they have some balconies that overlook the river. And when we were walking through town, I thought that seemed really cool. Okay, another thing that you're gonna need to know. Right there is a trolley stop, and we just stayed at a lodge just a few hundred feet back at Appy Lodge. We recommend the Appy Lodge. We aren't paid to say that. I liked that it was right at the edge of the town. It was very nice. It was a little pricey, but not, extreme. And for what you got, I'm coming back to where it's on us. Okay, so we're still right at the entrance of, and for instance, there is a Smoky Mountain Trout House. So like if you're like, oh, I want a trout dinner, supposedly they have the best trout anywhere. I like how they have menus on the outside of the restaurants that you can look at. And they do have parking. If you are eating at a restaurant, they generally have parking, but it's just for the restaurant. You cannot go there just to park and go to all the shops. So there's the Atrium restaurant.